Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. We are going on a field trip. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Tara, a farmer from Northern California, and this channel is mainly about farming, but sometimes it's not. Today we are going on a field trip. We are going to go harvest grapes with Presley Vineyards. Actually, it's been done already, so I'm going to show you guys some clips from this morning. Charlie, one of the owners of Presley Vineyards, shot me a text around 12:30 and told me to head out. So I got out to his vineyard about 1:30 a.m. I got to see an amazing crew do some hand picking, and I'm going to show you guys that right now. So this is Pinot Noir. They're so pretty. I feel like
here, grab it on this side because this is not leaf full.
I feel like
this is machine leaf versus
purple grapes are so pretty compared to mine. This side?
Yeah, you see how this is all
oh, these are hand tucked. So are you just pulling out as many leaves and stuff as you can?
Yeah, because it doesn't give, you know, just creates a longer work at the winery.
So how many acres are you guys harvesting tonight?
We are harvesting a little less than 1 acre.
A little less than 1 acre? And it's gonna take like 4 hours?
Yeah, about 3 to 4 hours to pick.
Wow.
And there's about a crew of 16
I was gonna
people.
say the size of the crew, yeah. Gracias.
No entiendo.
It's okay. I just didn't want to do it if it wasn't okay.
No, nomás díganle que sí. También dice que ya no trabaja. ¿Sabes que no estás trabajando bien?
They look good. Do these look how you want them to look?
Yeah, so this is a bigger clone. So this is clone 23, so it's more of a Gallo clone. Bigger cluster versus, say, some of the smaller Dijon Pinots.
Wait, a bigger cluster?
Yeah, cluster, sorry.
This looks like a small cluster to me.
But like, well, it's smaller because of augment irrigation. So making your...
What does that even mean?
So it's just like deficit irrigation.
Oh, so you stress it a little bit more?
I'm stressing these rows a lot more. So like we hand leafed everything to try to increase color. But as you start to overleaf, you can start to burn off your acids.
Are you concerned about smoke at all? And ash?
No, not with where this is at.
That's good. What about my field?
No, you got a white variety.
They're moving. This is my effort at helping pull out leaves. Isn't it beautiful? All right, we are getting all the grapes loaded on some trailers, and the next stop is going to be the winery. Okay, just got to the winery. Gonna unstrap and unload. Oh my gosh, aren't those crews so amazing? That was such a cool experience. I have gone to one other vineyard to see the vineyard hand picked, hand harvested, but not at nighttime. So that was really cool because all of my grapes are going to be harvested at nighttime, but with a machine harvester. So now we are at a winery outside of Lodi. It's called Bokish Vineyards, Bokish Winery, and this is where Presley Vineyards makes their wine. So they don't have their own winery, but they do have their own vineyard and they make their own wine. So I'm going to introduce you guys to the owners of Presley Vineyards, and we're going to go through their process. Okay, I am here with Brittany and Charlie. They are the owners of Presley Vineyards, and they are going to tell us how they got started with the vineyard and with the winery. And we have James here, who is a whopping six weeks old. Yeah, future owner of Presley Vineyards.
We hope so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so tell us how you guys got started on this journey.
My family's an ag, and my wife is from St. Helena, and her family's in the winery industry. And you know, Brittany, as we came out of college, we both were in ag, and we settled back down to Rio Vista. And one of Brittany's jobs right out of college was working for Western Square as, or still is, working with smaller wineries. And one day we'd always talked about starting our own label.
And we were home winemakers.
We'd been doing that for a couple of years.
Did you guys make it in your garage?
Yep, in our basement.
Your basement.
Actually, not even a garage.
Nice.
It was a basement.
So she came home one day and it's like, we should do this. I'm working with people just like us, small producers, and you know, we should give it a try. And it happened at the exact same time we had an opportunity to take over the vineyard that we wanted to source grapes from, McCormick Ranch Vineyards, and because we wanted to produce a Pinot Noir, and so all the pieces just kind of settled in.
Fell together.
Yep.
So in 2016, we established Presley Ranches, which is the vineyard that we farm, and then we also established Presley Vineyards. So currently we make about 350 cases of wine. Charlie does all the farming. I do all of our bookkeeping, sales, and we kind of tag team everything else that's required.
And a case has 12 bottles, right?
12 bottles, yes.
Yep.
And what are all the different varieties you make?
So we make Pinot Noir, which is from the McCormick Ranch that we farm our vineyard, our grapes from. And then we also make an Albarino, and then we make a rosé of Pinot Noir, so that also comes from the vineyard that we farm. We're also making a Napa Cab right now, which we got those grapes last year, and we're working on a champagne as well, which also came from our Pinot Noir.
That's fancy.
Yes, we're fancy.
Okay, so one question I get asked is how many clusters of grapes do you think go into a bottle of wine?
Charlie?
I'll take that on. So
Charlie kind of cheated because he did the math.
I already did the math and calculated it out. So if you're about 150 gallons of wine per ton, it's about 8 clusters per bottle.
8 clusters. I was gonna say 4.
She might be closer because my cousin said 3 to 4, and she's a winemaker, and you're like the winemaker, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a winemaker, but I definitely know how to make wine.
So who's the winemaker? You?
We tag team.
We tag team.
Tag
Yeah.
team.
Yes.
She definitely has the more developed palate, and
Yeah, but Charlie's done a ton of research on like yeasts and different yeasts, and so he does more of like the nerdy
nerd out on
science.
I was gonna say like the
Yeah.
fancy stuff.
He does, yes, and I like to do more of the taste, like what do I like in a wine. So we just kind of tag team it.
If people want to buy your wine or follow your story or anything like that, where is the best place for them to get your wine?
So we're on Instagram and Facebook is where you can follow our story, but we have a website, PresleyVineyards.com. We can ship a lot of places. We are also on our website, you can find where we're located. We're in different restaurants and grocery stores right now, but going to our website is our best spot to find our wine.
And can you ship out of California?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Not all states, but several.
This is James's first processing day at a whopping 6 weeks old. This'll be good in his future when he's grown up.
Right?
And you can say we started you at 6 weeks old.
Right? Yeah.
Born into the biz. Okay, wait, this is sorting, right?
Sorting, yes. That's a sorting table.
Okay, so do you want to explain what you're doing?
So we're sorting through, trying to grab any green non-grapes. So rachises can go through, but all these
And this is the rachis.
This is the rachis.
Okay. So anything that is not a rachis, like this guy.
Yep. You're just picking it out and cleaning it.
And it goes out here?
Yep.
I'm not, okay. And it's kind of vibrating.
So you can see it.
Yeah, okay.
See it? Look at yeah, everything just nice.
Oh, nice. And then it's going there, and it's going up.
So it gets augured all the way up.
Augured up, and then it's going into a destemmer.
And then you can see.
Oh, so it's coming out here. You can see no more stems.
Yep.
Oh, wow. There they are. Oh, my God. No more grapes.
No more grapes.
I had no idea. Look at it. We're learning so many things.
And then it's pumped all the way in to the tank.
So right now it is coming through here.
Coming through and feeding into there.
And it's going into the tank. Here we go. Oh, that's cool. I've never seen a destemmer. I've heard of a destemmer, but I've never seen one.
So the two differences in the production of wine between white and red. White wine, when it comes in, for 90% of the time, it goes right into the press. So the whole cluster, picked right from the field, goes into the press. It presses out and you just get the straight juice. And then that goes through just a primary fermentation, and most of the time it's just done from there. While the difference within a red, it gets crushed, destemmed, and then it goes into tank for primary fermentation. And so it's fermented with the skins and juice, and then it goes into the press and gets pressed out.
And what is the significance of like the red having the skin and the white not having the skin?
Color.
Color,
palate. You get a lot more like tannins and stuff comes from the skins of the grape, as well as what am I trying to say? Thank you. The rachis also, as it's coming through and getting pulled off, that also gives you phenolics and flavor profile and taste and tannins. Yeah. But essentially your skin is all about the color you're gonna get, as well as your phenolics.
That is so cool.
Even if we do raise it,
So we've got the bin here from what we harvested this morning. There's all the bins. We bring it over with the forklift, dumps it in, and then he's got a rake that he puts it down there. Pretty cool system. Okay, so this is not your guys' winery.
No.
So, but you guys have a wine label. I guess is that like the best
Yes.
way to say it?
Yeah.
So you guys have a wine label.
Right.
So how are you guys able to make wine without a winery?
So what we like to say is like we have a wine brand. So
Okay.
people confuse it a lot when we say that we have like Presley Vineyards, that we have a winery. So we don't have a winery. We don't have a tasting room. All of our wine is exclusively bought through online or in a grocery store or at a restaurant is how you get it. So we utilize this space so we get to be customers of Bokish Vineyards, which is where we are right now. So we get to use their entire facility for our wine making needs. We get to utilize their wine maker. So there are different licenses for everybody. So with our license, we are not allowed to have a winery. We also can't afford to have a winery because it's very expensive.
So it's actually a certain type of license
Correct.
too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So our license has us utilize this facility. It's called Custom Crush. So we pay Bokish to utilize their facility as well as their winemaker. We're allowed to use it as if it's our own, obviously with their permission. But yeah, so this is a tank we get to use. We don't own the tank, but we get to use the tank.
Yeah, so I would say like for farmers to relate, it would basically be like leasing ground.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same exact thing.
So you guys are leasing your
Yes.
space here and to be able to use their equipment just like a farmer would lease ground that they don't own.
Exactly. So
Cool.
we are in charge of, like, we have all of our own barrels, we have all of our own racks, so some stuff is stuff that we own. We're in charge of buying all of our own yeast, any additives that we need, we buy that ourselves
Okay.
as well. We work with the winemaker to make sure that she agrees with our thought process on what we're buying, but
Okay.
we do buy all of that stuff for ourselves, as well as if we're doing like any oak additives, we also buy the oak additives ourselves as well.
Okay, because I was curious, so like if you guys use their winemaker, do you guys still like, you know, taste everything and decide on the different changes and that
Correct,
kind of
yes.
stuff?
Yes, so
you know?
she helps guide us with her knowledge.
Okay.
She's amazing, but this is truly mine and Charlie's project, and we are hands-on at all parts of it. So
Okay.
from growing the grapes to everything coming in here in the winery, we are in charge of all the decisions that are made, and
Okay.
she doesn't make any decisions without consulting us.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I see. How many acres do you guys farm?
So we farm 50 acres of grapes.
And how many acres do you guys use for your bottles on an average? Do you
About
know?
5.
About 5.
Yes.
So they make how many? 350?
350 cases annually.
350 cases,
Yes.
and they use 5 acres out of 50.
Correct.
So you guys could make like a crazy amount of wine
We
with
could
50
make a
acres.
crazy amount of wine.
Yeah.
Yes. a
So
lot.
do you see like just if sales keep growing, just like continuously using more and more of your vineyard?
Absolutely. So we have 25 acres of Gewürztraminer and
Okay.
25 acres of Pinot Noir.
Okay.
So recently we just took 0.8 acres and we grafted over from Gewürztraminer to Albarino.
Oh, okay, because you guys have the Albarino bottle,
Correct.
so now you're going to be able to have your own
Yes.
grapes.
So as of 2021, all of our grapes will be able to be estate grown.
Ooh.
Yes, and that will be exclusively ours from start to finish, which we're really
That's
excited about.
really exciting. Okay, that's cool. We're going to try, like, over time for me to come back.
Great.
I don't know, so what is the next, so it's going in this tank.
Right.
And what is kind of like the next thing that's going to happen?
So this will sit in here and ferment for primary fermentation for the next 10 to 14 days. It all just depends on how quickly it moves. It could take a little longer than 14 days, but on average it takes about 10 to 14 days to go through primary fermentation. So on a daily basis, they will test the sugar levels in here. Once the sugar levels get to 0 is when that means that primary fermentation is done.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah.
So when the sugar level gets to 0, is there a purpose? Is that all wine?
Yes.
Oh, I had no
that's all
idea.
primary fermentation.
So
yeah.
once it's at 0, then it's ready for the next stage.
Yes, the next stage. Yes.
There, I learned something new.
Yep. So then it'll come out and it will go into the press over there. So the berries will be pressed out. We'll be left with only juice.
Okay.
And then it'll be put straight into barrel, where then it'll go into secondary fermentation.
Okay, and I just learned about how the press works. It has like the balloon.
Yeah,
Is that how that
a
one works?
bladder.
A
is what they
bladder.
call it,
Okay.
yes, and the bladder
That's the first time I just
presses-
learned that like last
yes,
week.
Gently presses the grapes, and so then you're left with the juice, because I mean
Okay.
you don't want it to be too hard, or else you're going to get unpleasant taste on your palate.
Okay.
So it all makes a difference. It has to be very gentle. It takes a couple of hours for the process to work.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's very time consuming.
Okay.
So then we'll go into press, and then we'll go straight into barrel, and then
Okay.
secondary fermentation, and then aging will also start to begin. And
Okay.
we will age it for 9 months to a year, depending on how it's tasting and also what the bottling schedule
Okay.
is. So we always bottle with Bokish when they're bottling.
I heard it's a mobile
Truck
bottling,
comes in.
so I'm gonna really try to come for that.
Yeah,
because
so
that will be cool.
Generally, it's in May, and then we go into bottle, and then we let it age for 6 months or so.
Oh,
depending
in the
on-
bottle.
Depending on
Okay.
demand. Yep. And then we release to market.
Wow.
Yeah. So our 4th vintage of Presley Vineyards Pinot Noir.
That's
Very
exciting.
exciting. Yeah. All right.
Okay, this concludes our Presley Vineyard tour and sorting, processing. Don't fall. Thanks for watching. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe, go buy their wine, and hopefully we'll be here when we're bottling.
Hopefully.
Yay!